Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today we're going to be looking at properties within London because I know not everybody necessarily wants to travel outside of London, even if it is just on the outskirts. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea. So today I'm going to be looking at some good, profitable areas to invest in London. Now, although in this video I am going to explore the properties from a sort of investment side of view, so in terms of, letting out the properties, I'm also going to look at them from a residential view because also at the same time, I know there are a lot of, first-time buyers out there that are looking for, good affordable homes to buy, but aren't sure, where to buy really. So although in this video I'm going to be looking at things like rental yield and, growth figures, I'm also just going to be considering the fact that, some of these areas are really good for, residential purposes also because, they're in locations that are really affordable. They have, good amenities nearby, good transport links, and are just great properties all around really. So with intros out of the way, let's go ahead and talk about the first location on the list today. Now, to kick things off at number one, we have Dagenham. Now, Dagenham has been tagged, the cheapest borough in London to buy in, with average house prices of like £300,000. Now, that's £300,000 for a whole house, not just a flat. And these are like 2 to 3 bedroom houses. So you can see why Dagenham is number one on this list, and also is hugely popular. You can get good houses at good value. Dagenham also has good transport links into central London, so you can easily link up to central London via the district line, as well as that it's also easily accessible by a car. You've also got your local amenities nearby, so like your supermarkets, your gyms and things like that. A bonus for Dagenham right now is the fact that it's going to be local to the new Barking Riverside location, which is going to be a new development that's going to bring loads of new restaurants and leisure facilities nearby to the area. So that's definitely a bonus. And by bringing a development like that to the area, surely that will increase house prices in the area. And so that means growth. And so it's definitely a good place to invest for the fact that, it's seeing good growth in the last couple of years or last few years, and it's going to continue to go that way by the looks of it. So based on the price point and the location and obviously the new development coming up, we already know that, Dagenham is basically a good residential base as well as, a good investment place to buy in as well. Now, to really take it further and show you the kind of numbers that you could be achieving as an investor buying property in Dagenham, I'm going to show you a property that I actually saw on Zoopla that is, getting good rental yield and is going to benefit from good growth in the coming years. Okay, so let's look at an example of a property in Dagenham, RM9. And so here we've got a 2-bed terraced house for sale going for £307,500. So yeah, if you look at the house, it's, to be honest, it's ready to go. You can do some work in terms of taste, so I'll do the bathroom again and some other little bits. But yeah, it's your choice. It's good to go either way. Now, if you get a 75% LTV mortgage, which is standard for buy-to-let, and you put down your 25% deposit, you're going to be paying £977 per month in terms of your monthly mortgage payments. Now, bear in mind, this is full repayment and not just interest only, so that's why that is high, or that high anyway. But anyway, you're paying just under £1,000 for your mortgage monthly. Now, upon doing my further research, I found that similar properties can get about £1,300 in terms of rental income each month. And so if you work it out, really, let me just get my calculator. That's 1,300 take away, what did I say? 977. That is £323 in terms of monthly cash flow, which I think is pretty good. And if you work out the calculation for yield also, that gives you 5% yield, which again I think is good. So that's a good example of, investment property in Dagenham. And as I said, it can work well for residential also. So yeah, that's a 2-bed house. I also saw this great other property here, 2-bed terrace house for sale, RM13. Absolutely love this house. It's just been done up, as you can see. This one's just a little bit further away from the main station. But yeah, as you can see, there's options. Plenty of potential to make good rental income, and you're going to see good growth as well in terms of in the coming years, because even in the past few years, there's been a lot of good growth in this area. So yeah, this is definitely one to look out for. At number 2, we have Barking Riverside. Now, as mentioned already, Barking Riverside is a huge development. It's actually going to be East London's biggest development. With the creation of Barking Riverside, there are plans for more than 10,000 homes, shops, restaurants, leisure facilities, schools, all that kind of stuff. So there's loads planned and loads coming the way of, Barking. And with the ability to get a one-bed flat from £262,000, it's definitely going to be appealing to a lot of people. As well as this, Transport for London are currently working on an overground extension to connect Barking Riverside to Barking and also to other commutable stations. And as a result of this, journeys to central London will take just over 20 minutes. So already you can definitely see the appeal, and by doing all this money being pumped into the area, you can definitely see that there's potential for loads of growth. So it's definitely a good area to invest in. Now, when I say invest, it's not in terms of putting up for rent, because obviously this is a new development. Properties are only going for sale by, the developers and the housing associations. So yeah, it's a good area to buy in for the fact that, in a few years' time, it's definitely going to increase in value and you're going to get some good capital appreciation. Next on the list is the borough of Havering. So this includes areas like Hornchurch, Raynham, Upminster, Romford. And yeah, this is a great area because you can get properties from as low as £250,000. So houses from £250,000 and then flats from £150,000, £160,000. So again, fairly decent price point. Now, in terms of accessibility, you can find most of the areas in the borough of Havering either on the TfL tube network or on the rail network. And so yeah, it's very accessible and you can easily get to central London. In terms of things to do nearby, there's actually quite a lot. So you've got your shopping centres, you've got restaurants, you've got supermarkets, of course, other leisure facilities, gyms, things like that. So yeah, it's an all-around good area to definitely buy in for investment purposes or residential purposes. Now, in terms of the investment side, let me actually show you a property that I came across that will do well as an investment property. Okay, so now let's look at this example of a property in Romford, in Havering, going for sale, £250,000, one bed semi-detached house, as you can see. Pretty decent actually, well, it was quite nice. And then put down your 25% deposit, and then you're paying a monthly mortgage of £792 per month. Again, I did my research and I found that these kind of properties you can get £1,095 in rental income each month. So again, if you work out the difference, that's about £303 in cash flow each and every month. Again, I think is also pretty good. Again, this is another example of a similar property. Well, this one's a flat, so much cheaper. Again, pretty well done. I like that actually. I really do like this one. The kitchen's nice. And yeah, so sort of similar again. So you put down your 25% deposit, £508 per month in terms of your mortgage, and you're making similar numbers as the other property I was just showing you. So again, another very good investment property. At number 4, we have Greenwich. And now with flats starting from £280,000, it's definitely the priciest place on the list so far. But the thing about Greenwich is the fact that it's so accessible. It's on the Jubilee line via, North Greenwich train station. And so it's definitely easy to get around. It's definitely easy to get into central London. And this is a big bonus. As well as the good transport links, there's lots to do in Greenwich. In terms of things to do, Greenwich actually has a lot going on. There's loads to do. So from the Royal Observatory to the museum to Greenwich Market, Greenwich Park. You've got obviously the O2 by North Greenwich, and so there's loads to do in there. You've got restaurants, you've got bars, you've got everything. You've got a couple cinemas. So yeah, there's loads to do, and I guess this definitely adds to the price point and value of the area. So whether it's for residential purposes or investment purposes, this is definitely a good place to buy in, and I'm sure it's going to continue to see lots of growth in the coming years. Now let's look at an example of a property in Greenwich, a C10 one-bed flat. So this is going for £280,000. Again, put down your 25% deposit. You're paying a monthly mortgage of £890 per month. Now, upon doing my research of properties in the area, you can look to get about £1,300 to £1,400 in rental income each month. So now work out the difference of that. You're looking at about £400 to £500 each month in cash flow. That's really good. So again, a very, very good investment area. Also, if you're looking for residential, this is also a good area to buy in. And also, according to the property data website, which is basically where this plugin is for, it says that actually flats generate the best rental yield in the area. So that's definitely something to look out for. Now, last but not least, we have Mitcham. Now, Mitcham is definitely the furthest out, and some may debate whether it's actually, London, but actually it does sit within a borough that is in London. And so, yeah, Mitcham is definitely the furthest out because it's not on the TfL network, so it's not on the tube or anything like that. But the thing is, you can actually get to London Victoria in 20 minutes or just over 20 minutes, I believe. So it's still pretty accessible. And if you do want to access the tube, you can actually do that via Tooting Broadway, I believe, which is not too far from there. So yeah, it's still a pretty good location. In terms of house prices, you can get a one-bed flat for £200,000, or you can get a 1 to 2 bed house from nearer to like £300,000 or just over that. So yeah, prices are still pretty good for, London. Now, in terms of the area as a whole and like things to do, Mitcham is actually known to be like quite like dull and a bit boring because of the fact that there's not actually anything really there. Like they've got a huge park, but outside of that, there's not really loads going on. Of course, as I said earlier, you can like link up to Tooting Broadway, which is a bit more lively and known to be up and coming. But yeah, in terms of Mitcham itself, yeah, it is a bit dull. But what is really appealing about it is obviously the affordability and the fact that transport links to London or central London are really good. So nonetheless, Mitcham is still a very good place to buy for residential purposes as well as investment purposes. Now finally, let's look at an example of a one-bed flat in Mitcham investment property. So this is £200,000 asking price or offers over. So again, you put down your 25% deposit, which gives you a monthly mortgage repayment of £635. Now, upon doing my research of the local area, you can get about £900 to £1,000 in monthly rental income. Now, do your calculations, and that is like £350 plus, monthly cash flow. Again, very good. So, as you can see, like, very profitable area. In terms of growth, it's going to do well as well. And so, yeah, either residential or investment, you're good to go with Mitcham. So guys, that brings me to the end of this video. If you found it useful and enjoyed it, please do give it a thumbs up. And please do also remember to subscribe if you haven't done so already. And as you subscribe, please do also turn on your bell notifications so that you're notified each time that I upload. So thank you for watching, and I'll catch you later. Bye.